Every night, I ran, but the train always left without me. And every night, my daughter went to bed without me. Work always chained me to late hours. But fate has a strange way of keeping time. For the first time in months, I stepped inside. When I opened the door, she was still awake. She whispered, "I waited for you, Daddy." Sometimes the last train isn't the one we miss, but the one fate makes us catch.
Your story isn't over yet. Share this if it gave you chills.
We laughed as the ring slipped from my hand, until it vanished beneath the river. We searched until the stars came out, but the river kept its secret. She told me it didn't matter, but I saw the sadness in her smile. Years passed, the river kept flowing, and so did life. One day, a fisherman cast his net, and fate decided to return what it had kept. It was engraved with a name, my name. I placed it back on her finger, as if the river had only been keeping it safe. Some promises are never truly lost.
Your story isn't over yet. Share this if it gave you chills.
In the trenches of war, he wrote his last words. He never came home. The letter was never delivered. Decades later, fate placed it in my hands. It was written by my grandfather to the grandmother I never knew. The words were simple, yet eternal. Through fate, she finally heard his voice. Love lost is never truly gone. It only waits for the right hands to carry it home.
Your story isn't over yet. Share this if it gave you chills.
The rain fell hardest when I had nowhere to go. And then, a stranger stopped. He walked me home, but I never asked his name. By morning, he was gone. Only the umbrella remained. Years later, on another stormy night, I lost my way again. And once more, he was there. This time, I asked his name. Some umbrellas don't just shelter us from the rain, they lead us home.
Your story isn't over yet. Share this if it gave you chills.
It rang at the wrong time, or so I thought. I told myself I'd call back later. But later never came. She was gone before I arrived. I kept replaying that night, wondering if my voice could have kept her here. I dialed her number again, knowing no one would answer. The voicemail was empty, but the silence said everything. I learned too late some calls can't wait.
Your story isn't over yet. Share this if it gave you chills.
It was the only photo we ever took together. War took me away. The photo stayed. Years passed, the colors faded, but her smile never did. Storms soaked it, time wore it thin. But nothing could erase her. Even when my memory began to fade, the photograph remembered for me. Some images fade, but love never does.
Your story isn't over yet. Share this if it gave you chills.
I inherited my father's old clock, the one that stopped ticking the moment he died. For years, I couldn't bring myself to wind it up again. It felt like that moment had stopped everything. Then, one evening, it happened. I wasn't sure if it was a sign or just my mind playing tricks on me. That night, I met someone who changed everything. And just like that, life picked up where it left off. Time doesn't wait for us to catch up. It only moves forward.
Your story isn't over yet. Share this if it gave you chills.
I didn't know who he was, but I knew he was grieving too. His face was unfamiliar, but his sorrow felt like my own. I asked if I could help, and that's when he told me the story. My father had saved his life long before I was born. I had no idea. No one did. It was a gesture my father never mentioned, but it had saved this man's future. He wasn't just a father to me, he had been a hero to others too. Sometimes we never know the full extent of the love we give.
Your story isn't over yet. Share this if it gave you chills.
Every year, my little lantern for her father, who had passed away when she was a child. This year, her wish was the same as always. I hope you're proud of me, Dad. But just as her lantern floated out, the wind picked up and the rain began to fall. Her lantern tipped, sputtered, and vanished beneath the waves. Just as despair set in, a stranger approached, holding a lantern almost identical to hers. Inside the lantern was a small note. To Mai from Dad, keep shining. The man explained he had been her father's old friend. Before he passed, her father had asked him to deliver this lantern when she was grown. Sometimes what we think is lost forever finds its way back to us at the right time.
Your story isn't over yet. Share this if it gave you chills.